Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aaron, with Evolution Daily, and I'm here today with the one and only HOLISTIKID. What up, man?
What's up?
You out in Hollywood?
Huh?
You're out in Hollywood, huh?
Yep, Hollywood, California.
Nice, man. You just relaunched, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
went off the grid with HOLISTIKID for a little while, and you just relaunched, brand new website, all this shit. What's up with that?
yeah. Well, I started a holistic kid channel that was more on personal development as far as like fitness and nutrition, and that's like where I started. And I wasn't very consistent on YouTube, and then I kind of like fell off the grid. I fell like heavily into, pickup and dating and cold approach and stuff like that. And I was working for another coach, a guy named Adam Lyons, for a while. And so I kind of put my own stuff on the back burner,
Mm.
and then I decided to pick that up again. So I just kind of spent the past like 6 or 7 months with a web developer, getting my website like as best as it could be, and yeah, just coaching guys and trying to
Yeah,
manage my life and then build this thing up. So yeah, my
yeah,
YouTube
fuck
is
yeah,
super
man.
consistent now as well. So I post videos at least like twice a week and been vlogging and yeah.
Yeah, good shit, man. Yeah, if you guys are watching this right now and you haven't subscribed yet, go over to Holistic Kids shit. Or the YouTube channel, but you've got the Snapchat too, which is Holistic Kid. And I'll just go ahead and like plug how to spell that shit. It's
Well,
it's
I think it's ALunt. ALunt is the actual Snapchat handle, but it shows up as Holistic Kid like on the thing.
oh, okay, okay.
ALUNT.
ALunt. Yeah, man, you're always, dude. Your Snapchat is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I think the Snapchat is extremely valuable. I think it's like kind of a next evolution in I know the more people that are exposed to my Snapchat, that's like because there's the advice kind of portion of pickup, there's the infield footage kind of portion of pickup, and that's kind of where everything's been at, you
Yeah,
know. Then Periscope kind of hit; it was like live answering questions type of stuff. But I feel like the Snapchat is really like here is my life in real time on a day-to-day basis. Like you can't fake it. It's not even like the cold approach stuff. That's more just like, or not the cold approach, the infield footage, which I do. I'm working on kind of building up my stock footage of that as well. But that's more like, okay, I'm going out and I'm going to approach, and this is what's happening. And then a lot of
yeah,
times it's edited and blah blah blah. And the Snapchat is just like, boom, here it is. Boom, here it is. Boom, here it is. And
yeah.
like even more of the X-rated stuff. That's kind of like what I'm known for. I don't show myself. Don't worry about like dicks, guys. But just like yeah, like ass and titties. That's why people
You're
come to my
always you're always like you're always Snapchat with like some ass next to you and like smacking it and shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I love about Snapchat, dude. Is like it's like you and I, we've never fucking met in person, shit like that. I mean, the people I follow on Snapchat that I love, some of the big dogs, Gary Vaynerchuk, Ty Lopez. I mean, I follow a lot of these different accounts, and like it's fucking cool, dude. That's what I love about Snapchat because it's just like, I mean, it's not technically like through your eyes, but it's you're fucking right there. It's you holding the phone. It's first person, like, hey, this is what I'm out doing right now. You know,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
it's fucking it's a lot of fun for that reason. So
yeah.
so you've been how long you been doing pickup?
Um, well, it's crazy to think about. About 3-ish years now. I've
Okay.
been like, but yeah, I guess the length of time, maybe even less, honestly, maybe
Yeah.
like 2.5 ish. But yeah, I started right away because some people are like, oh, I got into pickup in like 2008, but it was like 4 years of them like watching videos and not
Yeah.
doing anything, or they had a girlfriend half the time that in a monogamous relationship. Yeah, I've been going like pretty hard for a couple years now, and I didn't start off from a like a low point. Like a lot of guys get into it from a low point.
Yeah.
Like what else? Like what can I do? And then they like find this, and it helps them a lot, or maybe
Hmm.
it doesn't help them. For me, I was like, oh, I'm pretty chill, like nothing's too bad. Like I was always like pretty decent with girls.
Yeah.
I think I was like a mix between a natural and something else. I don't know what
Yeah.
guys would call it. And then I applied. I found out about this stuff, and I was like, holy fuck, and it was like turbocharged. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been fairly extroverted and
Yeah.
enjoyed interacting with girls and pushing out of my comfort zone. Like all these principles that we're kind of like learning in like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
development, like pickup community, were things that like I kind of acquired through like other paths that I had already taken in my life, and then just kind of like applying it to this right away.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not every fucking everybody in the world has to have some crazy like I was about to eat a bottle of OxyContin and then I
Yeah,
discovered pickup. I had the gun in my mouth when RSD came on. Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's like everyone's got like this crazy story. I kind of have a crazy story like that, I mean,
yeah.
nothing that
And
extreme, but
it's great for marketing too. Like I was this like shitty guy, now look at me, and I was
yeah.
depressed. Da, 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 da. Look, I've had my fair share of struggles. I'm not saying my life's been like fucking,
Yeah.
peaches and cream the whole time. I've definitely, and like anyone who like researches my stuff, and I have videos out there about, like drug addiction and getting arrested. But like I didn't have the easiest life. But I don't really play to that too much. Like as
Yeah.
far as marketing goes, I'm just like, hey, look, like my marketing is like, let me be a walking billboard for myself and like live an epic life. And like anyone who wants to kind of learn what I'm doing, hop on it. I'm not going to give you the sob story about how like it's just not my thing.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's good, man. I mean, authenticity is the way to make it in this industry and most industries in general. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
being fucking authentic, being your authentic self and not trying to create that. Cuz I see
Authenticity.
yeah, it's huge. It's fucking huge. And I mean, even just from talking to you like before the interview and even now and shit, dude, it's like I can just like you've got just fucking basic social skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
like
I'd hope so. I'd hope so if
but
I'm going
that's
to be doing this
but that's
for a
the
living. Yeah.
thing. That's what's crazy though, dude, is it's like I like that's like where most fucking guys struggle. I feel like is
Yeah.
it's like they watch the videos, they go out, they fucking have the technique and all this different shit. I'm working on my mindset, reading Eckhart Tolle and whatever. But it's like you talk to these guys and you're like, hey, let's talk about how you're speaking to me right now. Like
Dude,
let's, you know
a
what I mean?
hundred, 100%. Because like that's one of the first things I go over. Like when I meet a student,
Yeah,
like it's not even a conscious analysis. It's like a subconscious thing. When I have a student, is I just see how they're interacting with me. And a lot
yeah,
of them, it's like this weird like I don't want to say weird and like I'm not trying to like degrade them. Everyone's coming from a different place, but it's
yeah,
kind of this mentality. Some of them, like, look, they're paying a good amount of money. They're having like this experience. They brought themselves here. No one forced them to be there, and I understand they could be a little nervous and a little scared and stuff like that. But like, there's this overall vibe to them where they're like, yeah, they just don't seem very grateful. They don't seem very like excited. It's
yeah,
just it's like overall, like I'm like, dude, if I'm in your shoes and I've been watching this person's videos and then I've spent all this money and I'm there to see them, I'm like pumped up, ready to go.
yeah,
Uh, and yeah, just how they interact with me. If I give them a tip and if they're just like, oh, okay, instead of like, oh wow, thank you, like
yeah,
basic kind of functionings that I see from happy, successful people, not just like pickup guys, but just like it's about a quality of life.
yeah, totally.
And have the best quality of life, in my opinion, is like those little interactions because that's gonna make up the mass of your life, not just going out and gaming, but just like interactions with people. Oh, thank you, or like getting the door for someone, or
Yeah.
like shit like that, just basic shit. So
Yeah, yeah. What it is, man, is it's like the way that I've explained it to like my wings and stuff is I see a guy who is really a guy who gets really in his head, who doesn't seem to he doesn't seem to be able to expel the type of energy that he wants to. When I see a really hard case newbie, I view it as like the way I am like right when I wake up. I'm like
yeah,
it's like if I walk out and like someone's around or something, or even if I have a fucking girl in my bed, whatever, and she starts talking to me, and I'm just like, just fucking like, like you're
yeah,
just like in this fucking haze, and that's what it is, dude. Is it's like it's that lack of having like the light of life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's it's
absolutely.
it's this energy block that you want to get a student on boot camp who's like, yeah, let's fucking go, let's fucking do this. I'm pumped.
It's enthusiasm. It's
Yes,
like just an enthusiasm for for like yeah like life itself, and that's like a main thing I see is because like I'll send a student out to do something,
Mm.
and they'll like. There's a difference between going through the motions and doing something enthusiastically, you know?
Yes.
Because like you can go to work out and you can kind of move your body in the motions that it needs to be moved. And then there's the people that go there in the gym with enthusiasm
Mm.
and they're focusing and they're getting into it and they're pushing themselves. And the people can do, the same movements and get a completely different result. Same weight, same reps, but the person whose mind is like in it, like really there.
Yeah.
It's an overall, it's just an overall like gratefulness and enthusiasm for what you're doing.
Yeah, well, and with the going through the motions thing, I just relaunched Evolution Daily about a month and a half ago or something, and my first video back was called "Fuck the Process, Be Attached to the Outcome" or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
and the thing that I was like really hitting on with that video was that it's like okay, the people miss out on what the fuck that means, freedom from outcome and shit like that. The idea is that you're still gonna fucking try hard, you're still gonna go at it, but then in the end, eventually, like especially in the beginning stages where you're not getting any pussy, you're not even getting numbers, girls don't even want to fuck with you, like do the fucking actions and have your threshold for success be that you did the actions and you tried hard. Don't have it be that you got the result at the end. So it's like
yeah,
what you're talking about going through the motions. A guy will like, it's like especially like boot camp students and shit. Like you send them in, you go in, you say like, all right, so I want you to go in with like this line of like clear intent. Go in, hard eye contact. What's up? I'm Aaron. I think you're really fucking hot. And they go in, but they're not really trying to fuck that girl. They're going in and doing the thing because I told them to do the thing.
yeah.
Dude, going through the motions just in life in general, man, it's just it's
Again, it's a microcosm for life itself. Everything in pickup, and that's why it's so beneficial. Is because everything you learn that's going to make you successful with women is the same exact shit that's going to make you successful in life. The principles of success are exactly the same across the board,
yeah,
from Tony Robbins to Eckhart Tolle to some fucking random YouTuber to me
yeah.
or you. It's like to some weightlifter to some basketball player. The baseline principles
Mm-hmm.
all the same. It's just like the ways in which you apply them, and that's
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
100% true, man. And I'm at a point now where that's so true that I'm like fed up with most books. Like,
Yeah, no, I stop. I go on like I'm kind of like binge purge with like content consuming.
yeah,
Or like for a long time, I would just binge on just content, and I
mm,
was soaking it up and actually applying it. The worst is when you're not taking any action. It's just like building up, and it's like paralysis by analysis. Let's just like
yup,
you're
yup.
never gonna figure it out in your head. You have to do it. But I would still, I would consume a lot, and I thought it was beneficial for me. But and now, like for the past, since I've really honed in on HOLISTIKID, the content I'm consuming is way different than it used to be.
Yeah.
It's not knowledge-based content. It's more me just like I watch way more vlogs than I used to.
Oh, cool.
I never used to watch vlogs. I used to watch informational content.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't really watch much content, but when I do, I'm watching vlogs and day in the life stuff because that's action oriented. It's not a guy telling me what to do. It's a guy showing me, or a girl or whoever, showing me their life. And that inspires me more now because that's just what it's like, it's choosing everything's good and everything's bad. Everything, it is what it is, and it's just how you use it and when you use it. And for me, at one point, I really loved that information. I loved all that information and then taking action and going to apply it. Now I have this like oversaturation. I'm pretty sure I have like a good idea of a lot of this informational stuff.
Yeah.
And now for me, it's more like I watch like Casey Neistat. I watch some fitness YouTubers. A guy named like John Venus. He's like this vegan fitness YouTuber. He's actually staying at my house right now. And because these are people that are out like, oh, or Gary Vaynerchuk, I have a meeting now. I'm doing this now. I'm giving a talk now. I'm working now. I'm playing now. I'm fucking now. I'm doing this. And they're doing it in the same way
Yeah.
that I like Snapchat. It's the action-based stuff. And so like, for instance, some of my vlogs, like I have my like day in the life vlogs, and I'm just I'm living my life. I pick up the camera on days that I think maybe a little bit more interesting, uh, and like I'll show myself like hooking up with a girl. It's obviously on YouTube, so it's a bit more like G-rated. I'm not like banging her, but it's like it's
Yeah.
obvious that shit's happening, or I'm making out with her or something.
Right.
And then like I'll get some comments or messages like show open to close and explain. It's
Yeah.
like it's like that's not the point of this video. It's not. Hold on, there's a leaf blower. Here, I'm gonna go inside.
Oh, no, you still sound fine, man. It's actually not even coming through that much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. It's like for me, like the value in that, what I'm showing in that context is the action of it.
Yeah.
Like the lifestyle. The proof is in the pudding. I can sit here and preach to someone as much as I want, and I do. I definitely do that, but I want to balance it out, and I do balance it out with the action. Like
Yeah.
my good friend, do you know Mo Abassi?
I do. Yeah, I've seen his stuff.
Yeah, he came out to LA and we hung out, and I'd seen some of his stuff. We hung out in person. Fucking awesome guy. And Austin and Vadim from Honest Signals, they were out here. There's a bunch of like really cool like younger guys in the pickup scene, and I think we're all like we're all like kind of on that same wavelength. And Mo is huge on just like he used to write like a lot of like theory based stuff, which I all agreed with, but now he's just like take action. I'm sick of telling you like how to do it and what. Just take action.
Yeah.
Either take the boot camp or go out tonight and then ask a question based on the actions you've taken. Like it's just like super like guys, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. So that's what I want to represent, and that's what I'm representing right now. Is here's my life. Here's my day-to-day actions. Here's a lifestyle. Okay, cool. You can cold approach a girl. You can probably pull a girl. Like a lot of guys can do that, but like. How many guys, like you watch like vlog 1, vlog 2, vlog 3, vlog 4, hanging out, hooking up, friendly interactions, not just cold approach, but these girls are in my life.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's like different ones each video.
Right. Yeah, that's why I do really like the Daily V, Gary Vaynerchuk's Daily V, because it's like, I mean, and I love everything he puts out, the rants and all that, whatever. But there is something to that. And you mentioned Casey Neistat, dude. I fucking love that guy, man. And I watch those videos, and I'm like, why am I still even watching this? It's just like his life is a movie, and that's
it's
what's
that, and it's like
just,
an
it's
electric.
awesome.
Yeah, it's like an electric personality too, because you also you pick up on things. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Good.
Yes, it's there. It's you pick up on little things that you might not have otherwise seen, like when. Their day-to-day, like my favorite part of Casey Neistat's vlogs are like random interactions he has with like random people on the street in New York. Like when somebody is like, hey, you're the YouTube guy, and he's like, hey, what's up? Or he's like, oh, can I use that? And he's just like, and you see how he interacts, like that stuff can't be faked. And you're like, wow, this guy really just flows through life with this like epic. That's that X factor.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily what he's sitting there and saying, or him reviewing a drone or talking about a camera. It's like his personality while doing it and seeing these little quirks, and like that's something that takes time to be able to kind of show.
Yeah.
But
well, and that's why that's one of the things that I really try to teach my students as well and pick up is that I mean, there is no substitute for being really good at improvisation. I mean, just being able to fucking roll with the punches, being able to overcome any objection that comes your way. And that's what I really like to, I like to make technique videos, and I like to, present guys with like, I just did a video recently called like the 3 easiest ways to get physical with girls, because I think that a lot of the times in pickup, like people view all of this as like this massive chess match where it's like it takes so much strategy and like how do I get more man to woman or whatever, and a lot of it can be like greatly simplified. And so like I just put out that video doing that. But that's what I really love to demonstrate in my infield is really just the way that I end up getting into these like lengthy ass fucking conversations that build massive amounts of comfort and lead the girls to like inviting me back to their house, wanting to fucking hang out that night, shit like that. And I think that when I just got done doing an interview with Trip Advice earlier today, actually. I don't know if you're familiar with Trip. Really big YouTuber, 280,000 subscribers, awesome guy. But we were talking all about how routine-based game and, just having too much technique, it'll really throw you off because then you sort of just end up becoming those routines, you become those techniques as opposed to
Yeah.
doing what you're honestly talking about here, which is really just like living living your goddamn life and not having it all just go straight according to plan.
Yeah, and that's what I also find. That's a really good point because people with that are too like kind of routine based or technique based, uh, when you're when something like when a curveball is thrown, it just completely knocks you off track.
Yep.
But when you're just going into it like ready to flow,
Hmm.
it's like nothing's really necessarily knocking you off because you were never on to begin with. You weren't on a straight line. You weren't on
Yeah.
a track. You're just floating through the air, just kind of going.
Yeah, dude. I tell guys all the fucking time. It was 3 days ago, I think. I went out to lunch with a bunch of friends, and then we were going out to do day game and film some infield and stuff like that. And before cameras were rolling and anything, we were on our way out of the restaurant, and I went up to a table of four girls, and I opened the entire table, and then ended up getting the one girl's number and just all this stuff, whatever. And my wing was like standing outside of the restaurant, kind of like watching it all go down. He's like, "Dude, I would have had so much anxiety. I wouldn't have been able to go into that." And I explained to him, I said, for one, I actually like I did have anxiety. Like I definitely did. But the way that I always like massively eliminate approach anxiety for the most part is I just like I literally like clear my head. I clear my head and maybe I'll know what I'm gonna go in and say, or maybe not, but like I just throw myself into that situation and then I handle it from there. Which is like
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Sorry.
no, it's the
Yeah.
improvisation that we're talking about. It's trusting in the fact that like when the punches do start coming, like you said, you don't get fucking knocked off of the horse.
Yeah, exactly. It's a and it that comes from here's like the funny kind of like playing on the fence is that like for like you said or like what I'm saying like with the improv is we both have a fair amount of reference experience. And so like now where I'm at a point where like I might have no clue about anything at all, but I have enough experience to know that I'm going to not die for one, because a lot
Yeah.
of guys really think it's death. And I'm like, no, I've had the worst possible interactions you could imagine where it was embarrassing, where I got blown out, where I
Yeah.
was like threatened to be killed, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I survived that. Like, I'm probably going to be fine at the end of the day, regardless. So I have that reference experience. And two, I have so much positive reference experience that I just completely trust myself to do the right thing when the time comes. And it's I trained mixed martial arts for a while. I had 3 amateur fights. I had been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a long time, and it's the same thing. Like, imagine if a fighter before a fight was like standing there thinking about, like, yeah, there's a couple things he's worked on, a few techniques, kind of a overarching game plan potentially.
Right.
But with that being said, it's like imagine them trying to think about what's going to happen in the second minute of the third round. It's like
Yeah.
fucking no. And sitting there like, yeah, the anxiety's there, but it's the trust in yourself that like when the time comes and the punches are thrown, you've practiced enough, you've done enough. And so this is where the kind of playing on the fence comes in, like comes into the equation, is that I'm not 100% against routines or having something. I think in the beginning, if that's what someone needs to give them the confidence to go up or to be some kind of a crutch,
Yeah.
uh, or just kind of appease them for a short period of time,
Hmm.
then fucking go for it. But it's doing it with the understanding that that's not like the end all be all. It's not like I'm just gonna work this routine until my routine is this masterful thing that can like nothing's gonna satisfy every girl either. Some
Yeah.
girls like the douchebag, some girls like the nice guy, some girls like the in between, some girls they're just like guys in their preferences. There's so many different potential things that a chick could be into, and that's why I think learning to free flow with it
Hmm.
is best possible. It raises your percentage, whatever the fuck that means, but like
Hmm.
it raises it, and it also allows you to enjoy the interactions for what they are instead of just focusing on this like what comes next and how should I play that. It's like life, like for anyone who's into meditation, it's like the present moment. All the answers are in the present moment. All the happiness is in the present moment. All the connection is in the present moment. And that's where like girls, like if they can see that you're present with them and they're willing to like be in that space with you, then you can really form some serious shit super fucking quick, as
Yeah.
opposed to this long process. I've I've been present with the girl like completely sober, like middle of the day, and it's just a strong eye contact. I'm not thinking about how I'm gonna pull them, what the logistics are, which there again, it's all paradoxical. There is benefit to really kind of
Yeah.
analyzing
Of course.
for the sake of what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
I've been at points where, you know, I'm there with the girl, and it's like 2 or 3 minutes, middle of the daytime, sober, and it's just fucking on. I'm holding their hand, and we're making out. And it's because if I've been thinking, okay, well, it's the daytime, where's she going? How am I going to get her? It's like, fuck all that. Like, let
Yeah.
me enjoy this moment with this human being.
Yeah, dude, that's what you start to lose. I did a Facebook Live video the other day where I just randomly had my buddy turn on my phone and film me doing like live infield, and I was doing some approaches and shit. And what I explained in that was I explained how I get to this fucking, and it's only in my lowest moments, man, because one of the beautiful things through self-development and through pickup and everything is you start to be able to recognize when you are in lower consciousness and higher consciousness. You know what I mean? So even though you're still being a little bitch about something, or you're just having negative thoughts and shit, at least being able to observe that and being like,
To
yo,
recognize it.
this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sucks, and I know this is wrong, and I'm gonna get out of this eventually. But I get to this point sometimes, dude, where like I will have gone out for like so long. Like it was this last Saturday. There was an Ohio State football game, and we were day gaming all day long in Columbus, and then we were fucking night gaming all the way till fucking like 3 in the morning. And it was around, it was pull 30. It was 1 a.m. to fucking 3 a.m. And I was just getting so fucking reactive. It was insane. And it was
Yeah.
because, and I explained this in the video, I got to this point where I wasn't even viewing them as fucking human beings anymore, bro. It was another set, a chance for a pull, another set, a chance for a pull,
Just a
and
completely like ego driven,
completely,
like how
completely,
is this
yeah,
next like, thing in front of me gonna like satisfy my own like egoic drive to like
exactly,
accomplish whatever I'm trying to accomplish. Yeah, no, I
exactly.
mean I'm the same way, dude. I still get in my head. I still act like a little bitch. Sometimes like a fucking chick or a dude at a bar just like there's something that just like gets me the wrong way, and like I
Yeah.
just like massively reactive. I don't. Yeah, anyone who says that they're like above that or that they don't, they're either like Eckhart Tolle or they're full of shit. You know what I mean? That's kind
Yeah.
of like
Well, and what it is too, dude, is it's not about completely eliminating like the negative. I mean, okay, so if you're talking about like a hardcore drug or something, yes, you want to completely eliminate that from your life. But as far as like negative emotions, negative thought patterns, depression, anxiety, all these different things, if you've like ever struggled with that shit, I don't think you'll ever not struggle with it 100% again. But the
yeah,
point is getting to a point where most of the time you're good. So I bring up
yeah,
that specific scenario. That's maybe the one time in the last month that happened to me. And it's about getting to that point where you're in that lower consciousness as little as humanly possible. And back
yeah,
to what you were saying about just like really enjoying this moment, with a human being. I mean, dude, I fucking one of the things, I don't know where you are on all of this. I've never really heard you like say anything that would make me think you're this way. But one of the things that I can't fucking stand about the pickup community, bro, is the pickup community and just like a lot of these like I don't even know, man. Just this whole
fucking
idea of
demanding,
being like this like alpha
like male
fucking
superiority.
yes, dude. Like yeah, be above your woman. You're in control of your fucking woman and all that shit. And there's a lot to that, definitely. But dude, I have so many different girls that are my fuck buddies that are like my good friends that all fucking
Yeah. It's such a misconstrued truth. Like I understand where the whole like being the leader, like be the king and she's the queen, like that
yeah.
kind of that dynamic where you're out conquering the world and she's home nurturing you, and that like masculine to feminine dynamic, which I totally get that, and I'm
Hmm.
totally for that. I think if you're a man who's in his masculinity, you need a woman who's in her femininity.
Yeah.
But it's been like misconstrued and contorted into this weird like domination thing where it's like you can't let her breathe. If there's no man that's allowed to comment on her Facebook wall. If she
Yeah.
has any male friends at all, you are the only man in her fucking life. Like, she can't even talk to her fucking father now. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
it's this really, and it's all from my perspective. Look, I don't know everything. I could be wrong. I could be a little bitch. Who knows? But from my perspective and my life experience now, it seems as though that comes from a place of massive, massive insecurity.
Yeah.
Just a massive amount of insecurity and just masking it with these like alpha tendencies. Look, if a girl is enjoying that and willing to do that for you, that's cool. That's cool. And I've had girls like that. They're just massively submissive. They want a man to just dominate their fucking life. And there's a whole host of issues with like that type of whatever. It's such an in-depth thing, but like the overarching point is that, yeah, it's like my main thing with like the girls that I'm with is like just it's freedom, you know? Because it's like how you treat others is like how you're treating yourself. And I want to be as free as fucking possible. And I want a woman to be with me on her own free will. I don't want her to feel like she has to. I don't want to feel like there's these crazy fucking rules because you set these rules, then she tries to set these rules, and it's this fucking mess. And it's like, look, I'm a bit more kind of hippy dippy in my outlook and more kind of about that free love. And we're here because we want to be, and we're here because we enjoy each other. And that's what this is. And here's my perspective on life, and here's how I plan on acting. Like, are you cool with that? Because that's like kind of who I am. And she's like, yeah, well, here's kind of who I am. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm cool with that. You're cool with that? Yeah, sweet. Let's do this thing. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like monogamy. I'm more into like open things. I like multiple women, and the girls that I'm with are completely understanding of that. Some of them want to partake in that. Others don't want to hear about it. Others fucking leave me the next day. Others say they're cool with it, and 3 months later they fucking freak the fuck out, even though I haven't changed at all. There's a whole scope of how they react, but the consistency is with me.
That's the one that last one is the one I've experienced the most. Cool with it for now.
Most guys do.
Cool with it for now. Freak out 3 months from now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very common path because one is they think they're going to change you. Oh, well, it won't be like that forever, and then they realize. And the funny thing about that is a lot of those girls come back too.
Yeah,
I've had so many times. It's like 3 months, 4 months in. I just can't. And you're just calm, completely non-reactive. Hey, look, nothing's changed on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been upfront with you, and this is how I've been the whole time. So the fact that you're freaking out now means something's changed on your end, which is fine. And I'm not a dick about it. You know what I mean? It's fine. I understand. And you just hold your ground, you know? And sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. But it's pretty.
It's like you said, the consistency lies within you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you have to be the common denominator in your life, you know? It's the same thing I actually talk to a lot of girls, and a lot of like girls private message me and seek my advice, and because I come from women aren't used. I guess this is a tip that I can give to any guys. A lot of women aren't used to a man being completely like non-judgmental of them, you know, and understanding like from emotional stuff all the way to sexual stuff or whatever. Like, I'm complete. Like, a girl can tell me like damn near anything, and I'm not gonna fucking like trip on it or hate on her. And so girls, they find a comfort in that. And so I talk to like a lot of chicks about that stuff too. And I completely forgot the fucking point I was about to make. But
no, you're good, man. I think that I think just what you're talking about is just the fact that like, because you are so open in that way with things, that it gives girls almost like this sense of freedom that they've never had before. I mean, it kind of sounds like that's the road that you were going down, which can definitely be beneficial.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. No, I love that shit. Yeah, dude, I'm going to, I think we'll wrap up the interview here though, man. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. I'm going to launch. I feel like you and I could end up fucking talking for hours. I'm going to do I'll do a podcast eventually. And when I do the podcast, I'll have to get you on there, man. We'll do like an hour-long interview, something like that. It'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down for whatever is cool connecting.
Hell yeah,
there's
man.
There's a lot of us, you know. There's a lot of. It seems like a not to get on a whole thing. I know we're wrapping up, but it just seems like a kind of like a paradigm shift. I feel like there used to be a lot of competition.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be a lot of like And I think a lot of the dudes coming up, and there's like a whole like in everything, like how you talk here, like Gary Vaynerchuk talking about like in business, like authenticity. And I think there's room at the top for us all. You know, I think there's enough people out there who need help, and there's enough like if you're killing it in Ohio or even in LA, there's plenty of guys. You know, like
Yeah.
and there's a new kind of wave of us, and it's more than just girls. It's about life itself, and I'm so fucking friendly with like I there's no enemies that I'm aware of that I have like
Yeah.
in this like business is where there's supposed to be a lot of competition and enemies. I mean, there's
Yeah.
healthy competition, but for the most part, man, like everyone's just fucking cool as shit. I'm like so happy to be a part of this. You know what I mean? Like even the guys on the forums, there used to be so much more like hate and bullshit there, and now it's just like it's just support, man. It's all love.
Well, the fact of the matter, man, is that it's still out there. It's still out there. I think that maybe you've just like shut an eye to it. Like, you know what I mean? Because
No, dude, I'm not denying that it's out there. Like
yeah,
I get hate. I literally get hateful shit on my YouTube and
yeah,
emailed to me, and even on my Snapchat, like daily, like weekly, if not daily. And it's not that I don't know it exists. It's so minor because
it
like you
is
just
minor. It's
the
minor,
people.
and not only that, but also it's that the people that I respect the most in this industry and in the world in general, they're not the ones that are doing it, and they're not the ones lashing out against it. You know, I
When your
made
life is awesome, when your
yeah.
life is awesome, there's just little time to like fucking spread any sort of like negativity. You know what I mean?
When I see,
It's
dude,
just
I mean, dude, where do you see arguments taking place on YouTube? You see arguments taking place, like long form arguments in like prank video comments and shit like that.
yeah,
It's so fucking low energy. I said so long ago that I will never ever have this crazy long debate unless it's something to do with like a game principle that I stand upon. But as far as like, you know, I mean, people attack me on the YouTube channel all the time. People come into my Facebook group talking shit, stuff like that. But when I see a lot of like internet drama from somebody, something in my brain clicks where they just drop a notch. When I see them putting
yeah.
out a hate video on another company or some shit, I'm like, what do
There's
you?
only so much room for information and for just stuff for
Yeah,
energy in this little dome piece of mine that like I'm not clearing out any space for like
dude,
bullshit.
I love RSD Tyler and I love Joe Rogan. Okay, and
Yeah,
those two people that I'm bringing up right now. Lately, I've been so fucking busy that I don't like. They've both been pumping out content. Joe Rogan's steady with the podcast. Tyler's got a bunch of new like hour-long vids. I haven't watched or listened to any of it because I'm so fucking busy with like my
yeah.
business and with other things, and it sucks I can't do that. So
Let alone watching it and then spending time like hating on shit. Like
Well,
it's
not
just
only that, but not only that, but like, I don't even have the time to put into the content that I fucking love. So I'll be damned if I'm making a fucking hate video about
yeah.
another pickup company that said something mean about me. Like, fuck you,
Yeah.
dude. I gotta spend this time constructively. There's only so much of it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm just super pumped that there's so much, I guess I'll say love in my life, I
Yeah,
guess you could say, with just the people and the people in the industry and like just yeah, it's just all good. Like cuz I used to see, like if you read the game and like
yeah,
there's all that like controversy between coaches, and I think kind of like in the mid 2000s when people realized that they could make money off this shit, it was kind of like every man for himself, like grabbing what they could, a piece of the
yeah,
pie, different coaches saying shit and belittling, and these awards like, oh, this guy's the best, no, this guy's the best. Like the fact that these bullshit like awards are kind of like null and void. Like I don't like who the fuck is the best coach in the world and who's not,
yeah,
like what the fuck does that even mean? It's all so subjective
yeah.
that that's all comes from this competition kind of dog eat dog survival mindset. And I feel like we're moving into this thriving mindset where it's like, how do we all benefit one another and feed off of one? There's healthy competition, and then there's like egoic based competition. It's like when my competition is seeing one of my homies killing it on YouTube
Yeah.
and seeing shit that they're doing and being like, damn, I got to step it up. But at no point do I wish that I could bring them down at all, ever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Somebody
I think
said, I forget who it is. Somebody has that great quote where they basically say like the only person you should be competing with is who you were yesterday. You know, I mean,
exactly,
fucking cornball shit,
exactly.
whatever, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful because like you said, rather than viewing that as like, oh shit, they could be taking potential clients, rather than
Yeah,
that, be like, yo, I gotta step my shit up now. I'm gonna work harder.
yeah, exactly. Like, there's enough. Like, dude, like, I would wish you the best. I wish fucking Honest Signals the best. I wish Mo the best. I wish Adam Lyons the best. I wish Justin Wayne the best. I wish RSD. I wish Arash D Bazaar. All these fucking guys. Whether or not I agree 100% with everyone and all their messages and exactly what they're doing, it's like, fuck it, man. Like, if they're helping people, if they're doing more benefit than harm to the world, then like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
A real strong stance is when I'm like, okay, this is massively destructive to not only this person, but to like it's sending a ripple wave out into the world of negativity and destruction. And like that's kind of where I draw this line of like laying the hammer down. But
Yeah.
anything short of just like massive amounts of like, like fucking like Nazi type behavior, like anything
Yeah.
short like of racism and bigotry and all sorts of different like things that are based around hate. Anything other than that, dude, I'm totally cool with. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's the right attitude to have. Thank you very much for doing the interview, bro. If you guys aren't already subscribed, head over to HOLISTIKID's YouTube channel. I'll go ahead and put a subscribe button down in the description below, so there'll be a link there. And I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, thanks.